It's okay to be fat. There, I said it and I meant it. Hey everyone, it's Jordan Faith. Here on my channel, I focus on wavy hair techniques and tips. But today we're covering a different topic. Quick content warning that I will be discussing exercise as well as fat phobia in this video. I have decided to challenge myself to 30 days, a full month of exercise. I got my inspiration for this video from Carrie Dayton, a content creator that I really enjoy watching, who did a similar video not too long ago. Probably like most plus size and fat people, I have not had the most loving, enjoyable relationship with exercise and movement of my body. It very quickly turned into a punishment, a chore, and just a way to change who I was. So it wasn't very appealing, and it usually wasn't anything close to being fun. But I'm really hoping to begin to change that within myself. So for the next month, I'm going to really be focusing on getting some kind of joyful movement in each day. I think that phrase, joyful movement, that a lot of people have been using lately is a really good way to help retrain your brain to enjoy being active. I am doing this to change my body, but I'm not doing this to lose weight. I'll dive into that more throughout the video. This is mostly for accountability for myself, but a lot of you expressed interest in seeing this type of video from me, so here we go. So, what do I want to change about my body? Well, first and foremost, I want to be stronger. I used to be a lot stronger than I am now, and I really miss that. I feel better when I'm using my muscles regularly and actively working on improving my strength. I quickly figured out while doing this challenge that my core strength, especially, is pretty much non-existent now, and that it needs to be my main focus. In the past few years, I've carried a full-term pregnancy and delivered a baby twice. My babies are 18 months apart, and my core has been severely neglected throughout the pregnancy and postpartum recovery process. I didn't focus on my core strength. I know that I should have, but it's hard to focus on yourself when you have a new baby, and especially when you're going through postpartum depression. So I was just surviving the best way that I could. My core used to be my biggest strength. So it's really discouraging, and it makes me feel really sad realizing just how weak it is now. It was really shocking when I started this challenge and tried to incorporate some core workouts and realized that my core is a lot weaker than I thought it was. Strengthening my core has been even harder because I'm pretty sure I have diastasis recti, which is a separation of the ab muscles that happens very commonly with pregnancy. But because healthcare in America is awful and because I'm obese, there's not really any way for me right now to get a professional diagnosis of this or assess it properly on my own. When you don't have an extreme excess of body fat on your belly, you should be able to lie down in the crunch position, starting to do a crunch, and put your fingers on your abdomen near your belly button and feel for a separation, a gap between those muscles that your fingers can really press into. But I can't do that assessment on myself because there's too much fat in the way. So I'm basically operating under the assumption that I have diastasis recti or recti. I'm not exactly sure. I meant to look it up before I filmed this video, but I forgot. And doing only core exercises that are deemed safe for those with DR because they can't make things worse. I looked online and consumed a lot of content about diastasis recti, and I made myself a little workout routine that consisted of several diastasis recti friendly exercises, and they are extremely hard for me. They are very simple exercises, and they are supposed to be very effective, and I am doing my best to do them regularly, not every single day, but in rotation with other exercise routines. And I have seen some improvement, but since filming this, I was sick and I did take a break. so I have to work my way back into being decent at them again. I know my form isn't perfect, but I'm really trying my best. I try to do them as slowly as I need to, so I make sure that I'm engaging my core and doing my best attempt to do the movements properly. I'm not a professional, obviously. I am just doing the best I can, the best I know how, the best I'm able to right now to improve my very poor core strength. I didn't have a really strict or solid schedule while I was doing this challenge. I just sort of alternated amongst a few different exercise routines that I thought might be fun and good for my overall health and strength. Pretty much doing a different one each day, but sometimes I did do the same one consecutively for a couple days. One workout video here on YouTube that I really enjoyed following along with was the obese beginner workout from Holly Hanjo, which I will link in the description. It was easy enough to follow along with, but also challenging for me. So it felt really encouraging and just made me feel good when I was able to finish it. There are a few moves that I am not able to fully complete, and there were a few that I had to do the exercise routine for a few days before I was able to accomplish them. But for the most part, I could do all the exercises just like she did by the time this challenge was over, except for the inchworms. So I would do as many inchworms as I could manage, and then I would just try to supplement that time by doing one of the other exercises. Also, a couple of the days, my knees or my hips were bothering me extra, so instead of doing the squats, I would just opt to do wall sits. I know they're not exactly the same, but it was better on my joints those days, so I just did what I could to make it work for me. I was also fortunate enough to be given a stationary bike during this month challenge, and I'm really excited about it. It does hurt my butt a little still. I'm sure that has to do with how heavy I am, but I'm hoping that I get a little bit more used to it the more that I ride it. But that has been immensely helpful because I can do it after I get the kids in bed without having to walk outside alone in the dark. And I can do it if it's raining outside and if I really don't want to go out in the blazing summer heat. It's a really simple exercise bike. It is harder than I expected it to be, but I am getting a little bit better. My stamina and strength are getting better, and I hope they continue to get better. I also finally found my dumbbells that I lost in our move to this house. So I have my 10-pound dumbbells that I use for a few different routines sometimes. I like using weights. I wish I had more weights. I used to lift weights a lot, very frequently, and it just makes me feel good. It's one of the exercises, maybe the only form of exercise or working out that I actually truly know that I enjoy. So I wish that I could get a gym membership, because as hard as it is to go to the gym as a plus size obese person, I'm sure that I could work on shutting that out and just enjoy being able to use the equipment and get that time to myself to really work on my strength and connect with my body. I'm really trying to appreciate my body for what it can still do and enjoy the movement that I'm doing rather than allowing it to feel like a punishment, like many exercises have always felt for me my entire life. Pretty much the only other thing that I've been doing, I think, is going on walks, whether it is alone, if I get to go out in the early morning or late evening before it's too dark for me to feel comfortable and safe, or during the day with my kids in the stroller. I've been trying to get walks in. I really enjoy walking, but I wish I had more places to go, more space to safely walk. The sidewalks here aren't great, and our neighborhood is good for walking, but it does get a little bit boring just going around the same small neighborhood over and over. But I try my best to enjoy it, and the kids usually really love it when we go out in the stroller. That is pretty much it for this video. I would love to say that I crushed this challenge and I didn't miss a day, but I definitely did. I think I missed 4, maybe 5 days. And that's okay. You're allowed to listen to your body and take some breaks. Although it is hard to admit that to yourself and allow yourself to not feel like a failure for that, or at least it is hard for me. But this has just been a really eye-opening experience. It's not that I didn't realize that I had been neglecting my health. I definitely did. It's just now I'm really seeing the extent to which I neglected myself throughout these past 3 or 4 years. So it's a little bit challenging to mentally tackle, but I'm glad to be attempting to get back into regular self-care in this form. If you are a mom, especially if you are a low-income mom like me, if you don't really get a lot of time to yourself for whatever reason, if you struggle with mental health issues as well as physical health issues, you know that it can be easier to completely neglect yourself, even though you know that that is not the right choice. So I'm just slowly working on making my way back from that. But I'm really proud of myself for doing this, and I do feel better overall for taking some time for me and for my health. It helps me feel more energized and a little bit stronger and hopeful for how I can continue to strengthen my body in future months. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself because I know that I am not that great under pressure and I could lean pretty heavily into some unhealthy habits in an attempt to be healthier, or I can just miss a day and feel like I completely failed and then feel too bad to start over again. So I'm trying to approach this pretty neutrally and really remember that I'm doing it so that I can feel better and not so I can change the way that I look or change the number on the scale. I don't even own a scale anymore because I just hyper focus on it if I have one and I can see the number, so I have decided not to let myself do that. I won't lie, I still regularly struggle with thinking that I need to shrink my body, whether that is for others' comfort or for myself having things easier in the form of having more clothing accessible to me, fitting better into the world at airports, in restaurants, things like that. But I do deserve to take up space, and I don't have to feel like I need to shrink my stomach or my arms or my overall body just because I'm not very well accommodated in this world that I'm in right now. A lot of people disagree with that, but I am doing my best to fight my own internalized fat phobia and really love my body, or at least neutralize the way that I feel about my body so that I am never feeling hateful toward it and so that I can try to be mean to myself less. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was very chatty, and I know it is a sensitive topic and somewhat controversial topic. People have a lot of opinions about this topic. But if you're struggling with your own body image or weight journey or health journey, I hope this encourages you and you see that you're not alone. And I hope that it's a reminder to love yourself fully and faithfully as you are. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. If you want more videos like this one, make sure you tell me in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.